up, team? So here you are, live with Big Boys Boxing once again, and today I've got a bit of good news. A cracking fight, in my opinion, is about to be announced, but I have a little information that I will share with you. Just a second here. Just a little paragraph out of an article. The whole article is in the description box, but this is the important one for me.
Streaking heavyweight contender Micheal Hunter will finally get a home game for his next ring adventure, which will come versus unbeaten Russian prospect Sergey Kuzmin. The Crossroads heavyweight clash will take place in mid-September in Las Vegas, serving in supporting capacity to a DAZN streamed show.
So there you have it. Micheal Hunter will be facing Sergey Kuzmin. That's a good fight, man. That's a real good fight. I'm not even sure who would win that. It's extremely exciting fight for me. Both guys are up and coming, unbeaten. Both have good amateur pedigree. Man, that's a bloody good fight. So it is what it is, but let's go and have a look at both fighters. So got my browser up here. That's the story there. But firstly, we've got Sergey Kuzmin. He's 15-0. He's 6'4", has a reach of 75.5 inches. He has some reputable wins on his resume. He has a majority decision win over a tough Joey Dawejko. Yes, Joey Dawejko does have 6 losses and 4 draws on his record, but he's tough, man, and he's tricky. And in a lot of those losses that he had, he wasn't in the best of shapes. He's still not in the best of shape. You know, he's only like 5'10", but he's a big boy. But that's a pretty good win over Joey Dawejko. Micheal, who was a promising American prospect at 16-1. He's a big, tall guy, I think. Pretty sure. We'll have a quick look just to make sure. Okay, he's 6'4", but there's a lot of people who were talking about Micheal. That's a decent win for me as well. But David Price is Sergey Kuzmin's best win, I think, as a heavyweight. Amir Mansour, they got into a pretty good scrap, but both guys got cut from a massive head clash in like the second round, and that ended up being called a no contest. So and that was kind of before Amir Mansour started taking on all these young prospects and getting his beats. And there's not really too much else to write home about there on Sergey Kuzmin's resume. However, he was a very accomplished amateur, and he had a very good, I think it was first round stoppage win over Joe Joyce. And in the amateurs, that's definitely something to write home about. So he's quality. He's quality. So Micheal Hunter, we'll have a look at him. He's 17-1. He's only had a few fights at heavyweight. He's got a 79.5 inch reach. He's 6'2". I don't think that's actually correct. I think he's 6'3", being honest. But he's kind of taken the heavyweight division a little bit by storm. His last win was okay over Fabio Maldonado. Fabio Maldonado isn't a contender. Pretty much a gatekeeper level kind of guy. Maybe even a high level journeyman. But he has a good win over well-known, a long-time contender, Alexander Ustinov. He stopped him. He also stopped Martin Bakole Alanga. Martin Bakole did have some sort of shoulder injury in that fight, but you got to give Michael Hunter credit. He took on what a lot of people are calling the boogeyman when it comes to sparring stories and whatnot of Martin Bakole, who has been a long time sparring partner of Anthony Joshua. That was a really good win. And I think this was his first fight against Lago Kaladze. He used to be a cruiserweight. Oh no, sorry, that was the second heavyweight fight. This one here, Terrell Jamal Woods, is actually a heavyweight journeyman, so that would have been his first heavyweight fight. His last fight at cruiserweight was his only loss to Alexander Usyk, and that is one of Alexander Usyk's hardest fights he's had to date. Maybe bar the Myris Bridis fight in the cruiserweight WBSS, where Alexander Usyk became the undisputed champion. So, another reason I think this is such a good fight is because if we look at the rankings here, in the WBA, we've got Sergey Kuzmin at number 6, and we've got Michael Hunter at number 9. 6 versus 9. That's good. We've also got them both in here in the IBF rankings, I believe. Yeah, Sergey Kuzmin at number 10 and Michael Hunter at number 12. So this is a good fight. I think it's a pick'em fight, to be honest. Both guys are highly skilled. Both guys got good chins. Both guys can throw a lot of punches. Both guys can throw reasonably heavy punches. So I'm extremely interested in this fight. But there is also a little more to add to that. There are some rumors flying around that this card that they're going to fight on, which is going to be the Devin Haney card, is possibly going to have another good fight on it. So those two versus each other, that's good. But we also may have this one on that card as well. They've been saving Carlos Takam ever since Alexander Usyk picked up a bicep tear of some sort. Don't know how bad it was, but Takam hasn't gone and fought anybody else, so they're saving him. And this could be the card where we finally get to see Alexander Usyk campaign at heavyweight. And interestingly, Michael Hunter, who had lost to Alexander Usyk and wants to rectify that, if he can beat Sergey Kuzmin and Usyk can beat Takam, maybe it's setting up a fight between the two down the track. But I know Taiho, Alexander Usyk, is the mandatory for the unified champion, who is currently Andy Ruiz. They have a rematch coming up. Looks like it's going to be in November at Principality Stadium. Then after that, it's either going to be unification or it's going to be the WBO mandatory. No other fights, because the WBO mandatory is due. So it has to be unification to supersede it. Otherwise, that's it. But all in all, this fight here is very intriguing. I can't make a pick at this stage, so I'm gonna leave it for now before making any kind of prediction. But I will say, I expect this fight's probably going to go the distance, and it's going to be close. I see Tommy Temper in the house there. Good to have you in, brother. I do have a hangout open if anybody wanted to join, but I will leave that. If anybody would like to jump on a hangout, let me know through messaging and I'll start a new one up. But I'll let this upload to archive and let the juices brew a bit on who you think might win this fight. Very interesting matchup in my opinion. Let us know what you think. give us your prediction if you have one, and we can get some conversation going. So don't forget to give me the thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content, and I will catch you in the next one. This is Big Boys Boxing. We out. See you.